Here's that YouTube part of things. All right, here we are on the Similkameen River. We're gonna go for our first. Hello there. It's packing week. I got 2 big trips coming up, big rafting expeditions, and I got some courses to teach, so don't have a lot of time to prepare for them. It's kind of like get off a course, throw the gear in the shop, get in a truck, and then drive 10 hours to another river for like 10 days. So trying to get it all put together beforehand. Have a look here. We got bathroom systems, kitchen systems, stove systems, electronics for charging cameras and what have you. There's all kinds of stuff. And I haven't even really got into all the personal gear yet, but it's going to take me a bit this week to pack all this stuff up. So a lot of it's pretty interesting. A lot of people don't understand how we do these trips. So I think what I'll do is I'll maybe film a few things and show you guys some of the packed gear and how it works and that sort of stuff. See how it goes. I want to show you guys our kitchen kit. For this one, we're paring it down quite a bit. As I said, for smaller groups, we tend to carry more kitchen gear because we'll cook real meals. We'll have grills, griddles, you know, you can actually cook. When you're doing 14, 16 people, way too much dishes and takes way too long to clean up. So we do a lot of boil in the bag, as I've said probably 50 times in this video. So this kitchen is set up for that. Here it is. This is an NRS dry box. I think they call them a canyon box. They come in 2 different sizes. This is the bigger one. We use it for a kitchen kit. It's not 100% dry. It's got a rubber seal and it holds it down pretty tight, but if you flip a boat and you're upside down, you know, gear's gonna get wet. You just gotta pack accordingly. 2 big pots that we use for boiling water in the flash burner. You know, one usually for coffee and stuff like that, one for the boil in the bag. You can get quite a few meals in there. You don't do them all at once, of course. Plates, we like these big bowls because it's kind of a plate bowl action. Works pretty good. We have some serving bowls, 2-liter Yeti Bodum, fantastic, not endorsed or not sponsored. This is a GSI, smaller Bodum, 1-liter, 2-liter. A lot of people drink coffee on these trips, so having the ability to make a lot of coffee really quick is really important. Fry pan for fish and what have you. Strainer, you know, 5 micron, straining any dishwater, that sort of thing to make sure there's no particulate that gets anywhere we don't want it to go. Cutting board's really good. Poke some holes in it, put a carabiner on it for lunchtime. You know, if you're on the river, we have these trays and the cutting board. They all go kind of with our lunch pig. I'll show you that in a minute. That's for the charcuterie, that sort of thing, laying out food, cutting cheeses, that sort of stuff. You know, keep them clean, keep them packed, keep them out on the river for lunch. Some hot mitts, silverware, spice ring. We have big knives, big spoons, everything we need in here for grilling, cooking, flipping, whatever, stirring. Some J-cloths, fantastic for these trips. They're disposable, but you know you can reuse them until you can't reuse them anymore. Usually a bag full of camp suds, got to get some more of that. Oil for fry pan, and bleach. Because in our dishwashing system, we use 2 bus trays. One for sudsy water, one with some diluted bleach so we can dip it. And then we have these big drying racks. This one's made by Downriver Equipment. It's a big, heavy fabric mesh that hangs on our table, which I'll set up later. I'll show you that as well. And it allows them to air dry after they've been dipped in bleach. And always have Lysol wipes because you're going to wipe everything down all the time on the trip to make sure no one gets sick. It's one of those things you got to keep clean all the time because one person gets sick on these trips and you're out on the river, it's not good. So got to have a clean system. For that reason, there's usually one person that takes care of the kitchen and no one else gets in there. It's the best way to keep things clean and organized is one person is in charge of it. As part of our kitchen, we have a hand wash station. This is what our bucket system is. It's basically 2 5-gallon pails that stack on top of each other. You fill the bottom with river water. In here, the top is kind of our sludge bucket. Got some soap. It's basically a fuel pump off of a like an outboard engine. So when I pump this, I'm pumping clean water from the bottom bucket through this little wash spout into the top so that you can wash your hands and always be nice and clean when you're around food or in the kitchen. Very important for, you know, hygienic reasons, and you're on a big trip, so especially if you're up in the Arctic or something for 2 weeks, you don't want somebody sick with something that's hard to deal with. So hand washing stations are important and used all the time. I want to show you guys our stove system. It's actually pretty cool. It's bomb proof. I'm not going to be needing it all for this trip, particularly before how we're making boil in a bag for most of our meals in this. And that's where we pre-make the meals, put them into 2-person servings, seal them into bags, freeze it solid into a cooler, and then like every evening, because we're going to do long days on these rivers, that we'll pull out, you know, 2-3 bags when somebody's ready to eat, and we'll just boil water and you stick it in there, let it thaw, heat up. It's already cooked. Pull it out, dump it on a plate, eat it, done. Saves a lot of time with cleanup and stuff when you got 15 people. Lunches are kind of a charcuterie kind of things. We got a couple of cutting boards and trays that we put out at lunchtime on the river somewhere on a beach, and we just kind of lay everything out: meats and cheeses, crackers, sauces, you know, good stuff. A lot of energy burns, so high calorie, good food, you know. So the stove system itself is kind of set up for feeding 12 to 15, 16 people on big trips. So here, I'll show you what it is here. So we're using a 20-pounder propane bottle. Sits in a milk crate that goes into the boats. Gets rid of most of the sharp edges. It's plumbed to a flash burner. This thing's pretty sweet. Let's see if we can fire it up here. Make sure it all works. And we can have this thing just blow torching, or we can put this little tab in here. We can calm it down a little bit into more of a simmer. But as the blowtorch, we turn this sucker up. It's kind of like, you know, a man's jet boil. You need to boil a massive pot of water right away. That's how you do it. So you're doing boil in the bag meals. You know, heating up with that real quick is a really good way to go. So our other system here, which is plumbed to the same propane tank, is a Cook Partner. Partner Steel Company makes these. I think they're down in they're in Idaho somewhere. Fantastic stoves, very industrial-like. This one here is a 4-burner system. They're very simple, well-made. This actually splits apart into 2 different stoves, so I'm only going to take 1/2 of this for the trip. But, you know, use this torch to light it here. This is the half that I'm going to bring. So that all works really good. And yeah, we just pop this thing over. And it's got some little flaps on the bottom here, these little brackets. If I can get them to go. And like that. And then it basically splits apart into 2 pieces. So I'm only going to take 1/2 of this because it's 15 people and we're doing boil in a bag, so we're not using a big griddle. We're not cooking breakfasts and all kinds of stuff, or, you know, big dinners. Some trips we do. Usually smaller groups will take more kitchen gear and cook more elaborate meals, big home cooked meals, you know. But this one, boil in a bag, lots of people, so charcuterie, laying out lunch, boil in a bag for dinner, and then breakfasts are kind of to ourselves. So everybody's got a different thing, you know. But yeah. See if I can get it packed up. I should say too, this entire system packs into one 1600 Pelly case. So kind of crush proof, waterproof. Literally can throw it in a boat, stand on it, you know, doesn't get wet, doesn't leak. It's a really tough system. When you're doing these big trips, especially you're doing way out, like the ones we're doing up in the Yukon, Alaska later in August, it's in and out of a boat for 16 days, 14 to 16 days. So the gear's got to work. It's got to work. It's got to be dry. It's got to work. So yeah, that's the stove system. Still packing today. Working on the groover system right now. It's probably a term that most people who haven't gone expedition rafting don't really understand what it means. Groover is the toilet system with most of these lottery-driven permits that you get for these rivers. You gotta pack out whatever you pack in, and that means everything. So a bathroom system is usually crucial to you actually getting the permit and being able to run. So I think the term groover came from, I don't know, it must have been the Vietnam War, I think. 20 millimeter ammo cans during the war were used quite a bit in the field as latrines. And they're basically, boxes about this big, and they'd have a really sharp metal edge on them. And they'd put a garbage bag in it, sit on these cans, and do their business. And of course, the sharp metal on either side would leave a groove in your cheeks. Thus, it was called the groover. For many years in the Grand Canyon and all the big rivers in the States, groover systems were used by the National Park Service. So 20 millimeter ammo cans were used a lot. They've been called groovers ever since. Our system is a little nicer. We have shiny shit cans. That's these. They have an eco toilet system inside of them, which is a plastic insert, big tank. They are roughly 50 users per tank, and I've got 3 of them, so that's 150 uses. Think about that. Do the math. It's basically a toilet system. A 1600 Pelly case full of all our tickets. We've got a toilet seat system. The toilet seat system sits on the shiny shit can. I shall demonstrate. Voila, you've got your throne in the woods. Works quite nice, quite comfortable to use. Nothing to polish on this. Keep it clean, keep it well disinfected. It's a nice system. It all sits in these nice cans and in this Pelly case. Very portable. We tend not to put the cans in boats. We usually put them on catarafts just because they got the metal edges. So we'll lash them to frames and what have you. But the system works great. It's clean. It's very portable. It's very easy to clean out at a sandy dump. And yeah, people poop. Got to deal with it.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it's 2:40 in the morning. I've had a SAR call for a missing motorcyclist who was traveling from one town to another who did not show up. And we got a small crew ERT that's going to go out and see if we can find this person before we do launch a much bigger search in the morning. It's close to my hometown here, so I'm just waiting for the rest to come into town with a side-by-side and a rescue truck so that we can head out in the backcountry and see if we can find this person. I think I'm going to drink some coffee. Alright, 9 o'clock in the morning, no sleep, successful outcome, helped somebody. Didn't really need our help, just got prematurely benighted in the backcountry. We just helped him get out, but very long night, so heading home for some sleep. Still doing some packing for the trip here. I've got a new guides tarp that we want to set up and make sure that it works, pole system, what have you. This river that we're going on is it's like 40 degrees Celsius, so shade is going to be a premium. So new guides tarp. We got a bunch of poles from a big system, river wing system that we used to have that got ruined on a big trip. So we're just going to try a few things and see how easy it is to set up, if this is going to work, what have you, that kind of stuff. you in the cage? Do you want out? Well, you run away, so you have to be in the cage. He's a escape artist. I'm not so impressed that I've only used this tent once, this NRS Riverwing. And NRS is one of my favorite companies. But wherever they get this one manufactured, here I am. I'm glad I set this up first because all the glue has come undone, which is not so good. So all these poles, these inserts, are supposed to be glued in here. And the glue is all let loose, so we're going to introduce Mr. Gorilla Glue to these and make sure that they are ready for this trip. These are Paco pads. Jack's Plastic Welding is a company that makes these things, not sponsored. And rafters use these things because they are phenomenal. They're basically made out of a Hypalon or PVC material, like the same thing you make rafts out of. There's a nice foam pad inside. They're all sealed up. And yeah, they're 100% waterproof. They're tough. You can lay them across a raft, put a net over them, crawl over them for a week and not get a hole in them. And they're sleeping pads that literally you throw in the sand on the rocks and put your tent on top of it. But these ones are like 15 years old. And I'm just going to inflate them all really, really tight and make sure there's no holes because they're about to be used for another week straight here. And they've got some wear and tear on them, so we want to make sure they're all good. Oh boy. The cat doesn't like that. Oh. And that's what we're looking for right there. Get a felt pen for that one. Where are you? We're done our chores, so we're going. I don't know where we're going.
I don't know.
Jesus.
Time to go play. Somewhere. You're the driver.
We're done our chores, so we're going for a ride somewhere. Gotta wonder where this goes. Well, whoever was cleaning this road only cleaned to here. It's more than I want to do in shorts and flip-flops. If I have a chainsaw or not, I'm not going to get out there and plow that. So, we are in a different valley now, which I had no idea this connected, which is pretty cool. So I think we'll go down and see if we can come out in a totally different area and then head home that way. This is a pretty nice road.
Huh. The end of the road?
No, we'll go up that way. Just got to get a little four-wheel drive on. Not bad, eh?
Easy peasy.
It's definitely a deactivated piece of road there. Heading to the Okanagan for a swiftwater course. Just a 2-day occupational type thing. All packed up. Not too sure how much water I'm gonna have in the Similkameen River, so I'm heading a little early because I want to go scout around and see if we got some rapids somewhere for these guys. Anyway, all packed up, ready to head on down the road. "33 degrees out here. Anyone knows that statue, they know where I'm at. Heading on through to the Okanagan. Smoking hot. Forest fire season. Just heading through Osuyas, South Okanagan, and there's a fire going. Looks to be a brand new one. A couple of helicopters hitting it. All right, here we are on the Similkameen River. We're gonna go for our first little swim. The Similkameen is very low right now, but just big enough for us to swim in. Ready, set, go. Aggressive, fast, hard, and growling, yeah. That's what we're looking for, nice. We're doing our best with the water we have here, but these guys are good. This is an occupational course for a local First Nations group. They don't spend a ton of time in the water, so this is really good environment for them to start off and kind of desensitize. Remember, all this stuff is experiential learning. You got to start small and build yourself up. All right, come on down. This is where the helmet fits pretty important, eh? Get to your spot. Good. Just tighten that helmet up. Good.
I'm ready!
Look at that.
Best throw yet.
So outside, 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 outside. Big throw. 100%. Beautiful. Well, that was a pretty good first day. These guys really haven't any river experience, so river being low, it's really hot out. I think we're 36 right now, 34, 36. Everybody did good. It's nice to swim in a river without a dry suit on for a while. Good morning. Overcast today, a lot cooler, nice. One final day in the river. Just gonna go meet the crew right now and see about locations, and hopefully the day goes well. Glad it's cooler though. Definitely too hot yesterday. Time it good. Wait. All right. Okay, start managing that rope. You can see that he's got her. I made a good log. Go, 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 go. Up and over, up and over. Good. Good. Very good. Get it over your head. Pull, 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 pull. It's an emergency now. Good. Pull them off to safety. Good job. Well, all done. It's a pretty fun day. Cooled off a little bit more. Thunderstorms are rolling in. Got done a little early because it's a really small crew, but still have 4.5 hours to drive, so getting done early is all right. Looks like some rain's coming now, so we'll get on the road before it starts dumping here. He's a weirdo. Back home, just doing the final pack up here. got everything pretty much ready to go. We're leaving in the morning, so yeah. Bit of a long video this time, a little bit of gear orientated, but you know, hey, if it's interesting to you, subscribe, give us a like, helps us out in the long run. And I guess the next time we'll see you, we'll be, on the Selway River in southern Idaho, cooking. See you there.